Welcome back to Closing Bell. I'm Chris Bishop. Now we're going to more results now. And Alexander Forbes is reporting a 1% drop in headline earnings per share, down to 44 cents for the year ended 31st of March 2019. The final dividend for the year came at 30 cents per share. I have with me here David de Villiers, Group CEO of Alexander Forbes. He joins me in the studio for more. So you dropped 1% in headline earnings per share. How tough has this year been for you?
Yeah, it's been a very tough year. We've seen, actually over the last 5 years, one of our biggest revenue drivers is the assets under management. Seen the markets perform poorly. You talk about it every day. We've had a 5-6% average return over the 5 years on the equity market. It's tough, and that's what drives our revenue. So I think that in itself was a big contributor. And
you're, obviously arranging people's investments and people out there losing their jobs, cutting back. 100%. Is that your biggest leakage,
yes,
you think?
Yes. So it's quite interesting that you say that. So we have employers as clients and all their employees within them. So if we do a great job, we keep the employer as a client, we keep them happy, we keep the employees as happy, but they let go half of their staff, we lose half of our revenue because it's member-based, it's salary increase-based. All of those things are drivers of our revenue. So the tough economic environment directly inputs our bottom line, and that's tough. Having said that, also if we can survive in this circumstances in this area, and we do see a recovery, then we get to the upside, which is what we're looking for.
And how much extra competition have you got these days? It seems that everywhere you look now, there's little companies starting up. Have you ever invested before? Those kind of phone calls.
100%. I think a lot of small, especially in the asset management industry, savings, taking people's savings. So there are a lot. I think in our industry, it's more the mature. If we talk about employers understand what they do, and they only talk to credible institutions, hopefully, to help them. And that's quite a mature industry, which makes it difficult as well, because you're fighting about the same talent and the same clients, and it is a mature industry.
And within Alexander Forbes, you've also had a lot of uncertainty in the last year. 3 CEOs, including yourself, and the new head of SaaS, Edward Kieswetter. He was before you as well. It must have been very unsettling for a big established company like yours.
Yeah, and I must say the first thing I did was almost apologize to our clients and our staff on behalf of the organization, because it's tough. It's tough for people that when we go through uncertainty like that. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter what the influence was. If you have change, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for the staff and certainly also for the clients. We're working through that, and I think one of the commentators made a comment to say to me, just bring back consistency and almost make it boring again, so that we can just deliver what we have to deliver, make it easy for staff and for clients to understand what we do.
We're making it boring again. What sort of difficulties and problems do you have to iron out at Alexander Forbes?
Yeah, so we have to grow our revenue. We have to find a way to grow our revenue. I think our whole strategy reset is about engaging with the client better, differentiating ourselves in this competitive market to grow our revenue. I think that's key. And then in an environment like this, as we described, we must be vigilant about our costs. So we've had a bad year, which is why we're down for the year on profits, mostly because of a lot of once-off expenses, extra expenses to invest in the business. Hopefully that will normalize now into the future.
That's another question I have about costs. I mean, surely, like everyone else, you must be looking to cut costs. Yeah. What cost cuttings do you like to put in place in the coming year?
Yeah, I think the important thing for us, what we learned by the mistakes that was made in the past, is you can't cut costs on your key asset, which is your staff. To just cut your staff costs by not paying them salary increases or firing them is not going to give you the result if they're your asset to engage with the clients. So we have to look at efficiencies and overhead costs and those type support costs and those type of things. And there's many areas that we've identified, and we're quite comfortable that we can work on those.
Since you took over in November, what kind of costs have you identified that need to be wiped out the system.
It's certainly a way of Forbes was in the past to use a lot of outside management consultants to help with strategy and help with this and help with that. And I think in this environment that's just not on. That's an additional cost. We must do it ourselves. We know what we have to do, and we'll definitely cut those costs.
So no more outside consultants, nothing?
Yeah.
So your shareholders will be happy, because that's always a massive cost.
I think we'll have to prove ourselves that we can do it ourselves, but do better to understand the industry than the staff itself.
Now, you've come on board and you've taken on a big responsibility to make Alexander Forbes boring again, as you put it. But have you got sort of deep roots in the company yourself?
No, not in Alexander Forbes at all, but in the industry certainly. And I think that is also what I want to bring to the company. Back to what does the client actually want? How can we deliver value? Back to basics in terms of what we want to kind of do in this industry. One can only operate in this industry, in my view, is if you understand it, and if you truly understand the needs of the clients and the needs of the staff. So we're trying to bring that back.
You're just shy of 8 months in this job. What are we going to see from you and Alexander Forbes in the next year?
Except for boring.
Yeah, boring. Yeah.
No, we certainly set ourselves high goals. As you know, we're restructuring the whole business to exit the insurance companies. After that, will be quite a lean business, lean from a capital point of view, lean and simple in terms of very efficient, very less complicated in terms of the structure, and then we just want to deliver pure value for our clients.
Thank you very much for coming in and joining us and telling us your company's story. That was David de Villiers, the Group CEO of Alexander Forbes. And